This is gonna sound a little controversial, I know, but guys, I'm gonna talk about it. Have you ever heard people, especially women, say that, you know, men are intimidated by strong, independent women? And I've got a little bit of a gripe against that phrase. Now, I've got nothing against women being strong and women being independent. In fact, I think that's actually great. What I'm against is what that phrase has morphed into, because it no longer really means strong, independent women, meaning, you know, you're strong and independent. A lot of times, there's a lot of women now who are just hardcore annoying, and they claim to be strong, independent women. You know what I mean? You know, like, they have so much attitude. It's like the, hey, sister, you go get it, sister, you know, and it's that kind of, you know, strong, independent women, but not really. It's the whole, you know, I don't need no man to do this for me because I'm a strong, independent woman. You know, like, you don't even have to say it. You don't even have to talk about it. The way I see it now, and just think about it on the guy's side first. A lot of people hate the toxic masculinity, right? And I hate them too. I agree. Toxic masculinity sucks. But define it. Toxic masculinity is not being a gentleman. It's not even about being a good provider anymore. You know, toxic masculinity for me is when men become rude, annoying, overly loud, trying to prove that they're alphas. You know, like you meet someone, hey bro, and they're like, yo bro, what's up? Yo, what you doing? You know, like, you're overacting. It's pathetic. You're just trying to pretend, but that's not really who you are. You don't get hurt. Like, for example, men, when they're hurt, a sincere guy would say, you know, like, man, my girlfriend just broke up with me, man. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I hate this situation I'm in now. You know, they're not gonna say stuff like, my girlfriend just broke up with me, but I'm great, rah rah rah. You know, like that's just being insincere. Now you translate that to the women. It's not the whole rah rah rah, you know, it's not that. It's the attitude, it's the I don't care about you. You know, it's that kind of ill. It's annoying, rude, entitled, bratty. It's overly loud usually. It's overly aggressive. It's exaggerated. Strong, independent women to me. And I'm gonna name two fictional characters, but I think embodies the thought well. Wonder Woman and Arwen. If you think of Wonder Woman, for example, if you watch Wonder Woman Part 1, and please don't think of Gal Gadot's physical appearance. Think of her character. She speaks her mind. She's firm about her convictions. She's got her own goals, right? In Part 1, just think of Part 1. She's got her own goals. What's his name? Captain Steve had his agenda, and she wasn't afraid to follow Steve. You know, today's version would be like, no, I got my agenda. Captain Steve, you follow me because you might be a captain, but I'm Wonder Woman. You know, that's like, no. She wasn't afraid to follow Steve and submit to Steve and understand that he knows some things about the human world that she doesn't. So she does what she can to help, but at the same time, she doesn't lose focus on her own agenda. She's got compassion, she's kind, she's respectful, she's firm and courageous and has her own convictions, she's independent. And here's the best part. In the entire film, you see she's still feminine. She doesn't lose her femininity. She doesn't try to behave like a guy. It's the same thing with Arwen in Lord of the Rings. If you watch Lord of the Rings Part 1, I don't know if you guys are fans, but I think everybody has seen Part 1. So just think of Arwen in Part 1. She's played by Liv Tyler. She's the going to be the wife of Aragorn. But so Liv Tyler, she's feminine, she's strong, she's capable, she's firm, she's got her own convictions. Her father tells her, you gotta, you know, you're part of the elves, you're our people, you gotta go with us. And she's like, no, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna help the world of men. And so she's got her own convictions, she's strong, she speaks her mind. She has all these feminine qualities while being strong and independent. And if you look at both characters, they're very attractive. They're both very attractive, not because of their physical looks, although of course they got some very physically attractive women to play these characters, but they're attractive because of their values, their character traits, and etc. I'm gonna compare that to Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson. Now, nothing against Brie. I have a feeling it's more of the director's fault than her as a person. But if you look at Brie as Captain Marvel, she tries to be a guy. She pretends to be this guy. She comes up to Thor and she's like, you know, I can take you on, I can fight you. It's like she's challenging her teammates. She's trying to be the alpha female, the top dog, you know. And that just doesn't work. And Thor goes, I like this one. But not really. Like, nobody really liked her character. In her solo film, Captain Marvel, not the one where she shows herself in the Avengers, but in the solo film, Captain Marvel, she's trying to be all tough and all of that, and it's just, she lost her femininity, and because of that, she loses her appeal. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why, if you look at the fan base, nobody really likes Captain Marvel, and that's spilled over to the actress herself, Brie Larson. Feminism has a lot to do with this. When they try to mix and match gender roles, it just is a mess. I'll give you one simple prime example. A lot of times women will say, women can do everything that men do. This is gonna hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, but that's not true. Women cannot do everything men can do, and men cannot do everything that women can do. Men and women are created with equal value, different roles, and men and women are supposed to complement each other. All right, so once you hear the narrative that women can do everything that men can do, just this one question: show me any woman MMA fighter who says, I want to compete against the men. I want to fight those men. I want to punch and kick the men. And I will take their punches and their kicks. Not one. Think of any woman in Taekwondo, in Karate, in Judo, or wherever, boxing. They're never going to say, I want to fight in the men's division. You'll see a lot of men want to fight the women's division, but never the women wanting to fight in the men's division. And the answer is plain and simple. It's staring you in the face, really. It's your physicality. You're built different. Men are built different. Women are built different. Men are stronger in terms of physical, physical attributes. But that doesn't mean women who are weaker physically are of less value. Because men are so much weaker in so many other character traits and attributes that women are stronger in showing compassion, in being sensitive towards others. Those are traits that are so lacking in this world. Like, how many men commit suicide? If you look at the suicide rates of men and women, men commit suicide more. If you look at the incarceration rates, there are more men in prison than women. There are more men who are depressed and kill themselves than women. There are so many things that women are stronger in, stronger at, that are so desperately needed by this fallen world. And when men try to be women and women try to be men, it messes things up. And that grinds my teeth, you know. Basically, this movement, this whole woke, gender switching, sexism, sexist kind of, it ruins everything. All right. So let me say this, going back to the main point: toxic masculinity and toxic femininity has nothing to do with the traditional roles that men and women have. The real toxic masculinity and femininity is when those traditional roles are abused, exaggerated, or switched. All right? That is when men and women become toxic masculine, toxic feminine. When the roles are exaggerated, swapped, or abused. If it's none of those three, you just take those traditional roles, everything works fine. One last thing, and then I'll shut up and I'll turn off the rant. One last thing. Women, I gotta say this. As a guy, men want to be gentlemen. We want to be gentlemen. And the reason for that is because we value women, we treasure women. We think women are God's gift to men. What did God say when He created Adam? He said it's not good for Adam to be alone, right? And so, men actually subconsciously, deep down in our subconscious, in our hearts, we know that women are God's gift to men. That's in the divine order of creation in Genesis, all right? And that's why we want to be gentlemen. We open doors for you not because we want to insult you, not because we think you're weaker and you cannot push a door open. It's not that, although some doors are really, really heavy, right? But we do that because we treasure you, we value you, we want to be gentlemen, we want to be respectful, we want to... Think of it this way. Just the fact that you are a woman causes us men to want to be the best version of ourselves. Just you being born a woman, a lady, a girl, causes you, just your presence alone as a woman, causes us to want to better ourselves. That's a compliment, all right? That's a compliment. And women now are saying, I can open that door, close the door, I'll open it for myself because I'm a strong, independent woman. Us opening the door for you has nothing to do with your strength or your independence. It has everything to do with society, with what's appropriate, what's good, what's noble, what's beautiful, what's incredible, what's, praiseworthy. That's what we're trying to live up to, to better ourselves, because we want to be, we're inspired by you. We want to inspire you. Just as I'm sure strong, independent women are inspired by gentlemen and want to inspire gentlemen too. It works perfectly, right? God's divine order, God's divine calling and roles is perfect. It's us who mess things up by abusing what God has already designed. Now, I know this was more of a rant, and I wasn't really trying to explain. I wasn't doing a kind of apologetic on it, but it's really, really a rant, because I just saw on my newsfeed on Facebook about three posts that went through the same theme, and I felt sick to my stomach. These are ideas and ideologies that poison men and women. I hope this rant is infectious. God bless you.